Yo, your sleep is killing your gains spiritually, mentally, and physically. So we got to change it. Let's get it. What's going on, Transcendent family? My name is Tamar Lawton, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to say that because I know a lot of new people are rolling in. I'm getting back into a swing. And listen, if you enjoyed today's video, I encourage you to come back because I drop a new video every single Wednesday. But let's go ahead and get into today's topic. So I said sleeping is killing your gains, right? Spiritually, mentally, and physically. And for those of you all that don't know, I'm a peak performance coach, so I'm gonna always give you all a lot of game on the fitness and nutrition side of things, which we'll get into in a second. But I would be remiss if I didn't start with the spiritual aspect of things. All right, you all, so I have my pre-workout meal here, and I'll get into like why I'm eating this, like the benefits it'll have towards my workout a little bit later. But like I said, I want to start with the spiritual aspect of things. So quite literally, if you're not maximizing your sleep, it's going to make it harder for you to connect with God. So an easy example is we've all been there before. We went out a little bit late before church the next morning, and we got in church and like we were missing everything the pastor was saying. Like maybe we kind of heard it, but we weren't as locked in as we could be. Like they start clapping and we're like, oh, I'm up. You know what I mean? And so you're not locking in as well as you could. And then on a personal note, in your quiet time, at least I know for me, speaking for myself, if I don't have adequate sleep, it's harder for me to lock in with God. Like I'll be in my quiet time, I'm praying, all of a sudden I'm here and I'm like, whoa, when did I doze off? So you're going to want to make sure you maximize your sleep, because not only is it going to affect your personal relationship with Christ, but also your ability to evangelize, right? Because if you're not spiritually on point there and you're not mentally on point, which, like I said, everything flows together, it's going to be harder to go out and make disciples on earth. And that's what we're called to do. All right, you all. So I just finished my pre-workout meal. I had a little bit of coffee as well. And so starting with the coffee, you'll be able to see all the macros right here for everything. But starting with the coffee, the reason why I did this, wanted to get a little pick me up. I don't take pre-workout and I don't really drink a lot of caffeine. I was a little bit during my time period of just my sleep being utterly destroyed, and I was doing whatever I could to kind of just bump up my energy. We'll get into that a little bit later as well, because part of the reason I'm even making this video is to bring awareness around how important sleep is, and then also to hold myself accountable as I continue to recover from a time period where my sleep was just trash, right? So a little bit of coffee here. This will get going about 30 minutes, kind of elevate my energy and focus a little bit. Primarily focus too while I'm in the gym, so that's going to be huge. And then my pre-workout meal, as you can see from the macros, Hello Dave's Killer Bread, salmon, grapes, and then bananas. Heavier on the carbs here, especially fast digesting carbs, right? So that way I can use that energy towards my workout. And then also this pre-workout meal, again, it helps me with my reverse diet. If you all have been following along with this series that I've been going on of just getting as lean as I possibly can, I needed to bump up my calories and my macros, and so this meal also helps me do that as well. All right, you all, so I'm at the gym now. I had to turn on that light because I'm in a parking garage. But yeah, like I said, new gym I'm checking out today is the Training Collective. Not sure if I'm really gonna give y'all a tour this time because I did their little trial membership where you can come in there, you can try it out for a month. So I might do that in a separate video. Don't believe the hype. I don't know how other YouTubers do it. I think you just build the skill over time. But when you record stuff, it pushes your whole day back. Like I'm like 30 minutes behind. It's 2:06. Still doing good, so I can make it to my calls and stuff that I have planned today. But anyways, just finished sipping on this LMNT creatine mixture that I made at home. I got this last little swig I'm about to get down. I don't have a discount code for you all, and I'm not affiliated with this brand, but LMNT has been super clutch. It's an electrolyte powder with the right amount of sodium. And one thing I'll definitely say, especially if you're someone that drinks a lot of caffeine, particularly coffee, like it rids your body of everything. There's a reason why when you go to a restaurant and they're like, hey, do you want coffee at the end? It just flushes everything. It flushes water. And so after having coffee, like just constantly peeing, it's important to rehydrate. Make sure I have enough electrolytes, especially before I go in the gym, because you need that for your muscles and everything to fire off the right way. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get in here and we're gonna get this workout started. Yeah. All right, y'all, so we just got started here. This is the Training Collective. I don't think I'm going to give you all a gym tour today just because, like I said, I was already running behind. And I want to make sure I get that validated parking. But one thing I'll definitely say is I think I probably will go up a little bit, but I'm not going to go up and try and be as aggressive as I was with my squat last week and last week's video, because unbeknownst to you all, that was actually the last time I worked out for that entire week. So my sleep was just wrecked, which again is why I'm making this video, so we can hold each other accountable. I just did not recover from that session as well as I should have. And the training volume is probably a little bit higher with the weight, not even just reps, but the weight and those bilateral movements. And so got humbled there, and then combined that with bad sleep. And that was the only time I worked out that entire week. And usually I don't miss that much. I only have one workout. So make sure we don't go down that same path. First and foremost, I'm going to get some good sleep tonight, good sleep throughout the rest of the week. And then my deadlift is stronger than my squat, right? So, and that's probably the case for a lot of people. Actually, maybe not. Let me change that. Grip strength will kill a lot of things for most people. But for me, my deadlift is stronger than my squat. So I came in, one, I got great sleep, so I feel amazing. And I just did 225. I am going to count that as a working set. But for the other four, I'm just going to see how I feel. I think this next one I'll do 245. By the third set, I might be up to 275. And then we'll kind of see. I don't see it yet, but I wish they had smaller weights over here. And when you're going up incrementally, you never really feel like sliding like a big 10 on there. But it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. Do like that they have Rogue everything. I think Rogue is one of those things that it just got really popularized by the CrossFit community. And then it's like, now if you don't have a Rogue, you're just not official. But honestly, like I said, if they had smaller plates, so when you're going up incrementally by like 20 pounds, you won't have to slide another long plate on there. That would be amazing. But I do understand like the purpose behind this, because if you're a newer lifter, having smaller plates that are long like this will allow you to deadlift with, let's say, 65 pounds, which is, you know, a great start when you're just now getting past the bar. So that way you don't have small plates and it's just too low to the ground. You can have a longer plate like this and still go up incrementally. So the lightweight long plate rather has its place. It's just kind of annoying for jumps like this, but let's get a 245 set in real quick. Like I said, deadlift is just way stronger than my squat. I don't even have any chalk on yet, 245. Y'all know I'm definitely going up. That was just too easy. But like I said, I'm trying to be patient. So I'm just going to tell myself mentally to stop at 275. And again, I could deadlift more than that. But one of the biggest things that we get in trouble with as intermediate and advanced lifters is we always, what am I doing? I'm putting the clip on there and it's 25. We always chase a shadow of ourselves from a different season, right? And getting back into it, locking my form in, I'm gonna get more bang for my buck, going a little bit lighter, keeping my form locked in and keeping it in a place where I can easily recover. That way I can live to fight another day. One of the biggest things that I have fell victim to in the past, and I want to make sure that you all don't do this, if you are someone that's been deadlifting or doing any lift for a long amount of time, you can't zone out, right? Just because it's baby weight. So what that basically means, I've had times in the past where I didn't get as tight as I possibly could on a lift for my form, or, you know, I didn't just pay attention to all my cues because I'm like, it's not the heaviest weight. And one of the greatest things I feel like powerlifters do really well is no matter what weight they're lifting, they lock in their form. So that's something we can take from them. No matter what you're lifting, lock in the form like it's the heaviest weight possible. Always respect any weight that you put on any bar, any dumbbell you pick up. And that's going to help you not only stay safe, but you're going to get the most out of every single lift. Because if you train at this half efficiency of like, I'm kind of halfway locked in, and then you want to try and turn it on when you get heavy weight, it's not going to work. You're going to have some deficiencies, right? It's just like any sport. You try and turn it on when it's game time, it's not going to work. So piss poor practice makes piss poor performance, but perfect practice leads to perfect performance. So let's keep that in mind. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's not even gonna be a chalk day unless my hands start magically sweating. But I think, like I said, just being conservative, we'll stay at 275. This was set 3. I'm gonna do 2 more sets, and then I'm gonna show y'all what I got next. All right, you all. So I'm that influencer now, holding the mic. But I wanted to just kind of bring this up and give reference. So I was looking through my app, and this is why tracking your workouts is so crucial. Everything that I use to track my workouts is the same thing I give my clients, and having everything inside of my app just makes life so much easier because I can see all my historical numbers for a lift. And so the last time I touched 225, I did it for 10 reps across 3 sets. So that's 30 reps, right? And then a 5x5 is 25. So that gives you a feel for like the volume. And the rest was even shorter. But it goes back to saying what I was saying before, just being humble and understanding like, hey, I'm going to do these a lot slower. I can make it feel heavier. I can focus on the tension, the squeeze, and just make sure my form is on point. But I just wanted to give you all that kind of reference. Like, just because of what you used to do, it doesn't mean you always just rush back and start there. And also another thing I was just thinking about, it's probably a good thing I started there because I'm looking to sprint tomorrow and I don't want to have my legs just drained, right? So we don't want that. But I got one more set here. I wanted to tell y'all that while I was in my rest. And then we're going to get into some deficit pin lay rows. I think y'all are going to absolutely love this for back development. And the deficit just adds a great twist if you're really trying to develop your back and get some good pulling strength. So I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. One of the hardest things about recording your workouts is trying to find an angle that's actually not only aesthetically pleasing from a camera position, but also if you're trying to show form. Like sometimes those two things don't go together. But anyways, hopefully this looks good. But like I said, deficit pin lay row. And so when you're doing this, probably an easy comparison or easier place to start is a T-bar row. So you've all probably seen that where your chest is supported. You have this handle that looks like a T, you pull it off, and then you're rowing. This is a mimic for that. Naturally, you have this bar. You can fit more weight on here. You can get heavier. Now, I have another 5x5 with this. I don't know where I'm going to go weight-wise. My hands actually did start getting sweaty, so I probably will chalk up after this set. But you basically want to push the hips back, take a deep breath, keep your core stable as if you're doing an RDL, and then you're allowing your body to completely round out, right? And so you're going to create this hollow body position with your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together first, and then pull back. That's going to get an insane pump on your traps, which a lot of people think traps are just up here, but if you look at my thumb, they actually come through here as well. And so, like I said, if you want a lot of good mid-back development, you got to try this one. So, starting here. Y'all enjoyed today's video. The biggest point that I wanted to communicate is that if you're not getting adequate sleep, you're going to have a diminishing return on everything that you set forth to do, right? So spiritually, we went through that. We understand this can affect and will affect, not even can, but eventually, even if not at the beginning, it will eventually affect your personal and intimate relationship with Jesus. Nothing in this world should be doing that. And so one of the enemy's tricks is to keep us busy, is to keep us from fully being able to rest in God. And part of that is getting great sleep, right? It's part of taking care of your temple. So make sure you're doing that, like I said. And then mentally, this flows like spiritually, mentally, and physically. Mentally, if you're not here and you're not on your P's and Q's, it's going to affect your purpose, right? It's going to affect your ability to evangelize. It's going to affect your ability to be good at what you do, whatever you set your hands to. I think it was 1 Corinthians 10:31. And I'll put the official scripture right here because I'm trying to think in my brain what it was. But no matter what you do it unto the Lord, right? And that means you should be doing it in excellence. And one thing I think about all the time is the days that I don't have the best sleep. Like, I know I'm not giving my clients 100%, right? My whole job is predicated on me being able to break down concepts and make it practical for the everyday person. And the less sleep I have, the harder it is for me to do that, right? And nobody's ever called me out on this, but you need to call yourself out on it and say, hey, I know I'm not operating at 100%. And if it's your sleep, you got to tie back and get into it. And then, of course, physically, we know. And honestly, I can't even say that we know this. We don't know how much it affects us. I'm also going to leave a study down below. I don't know if I'm going to be that big study fitness person, but it's just interesting on how, like, getting a lack of sleep, even in younger teenage athletes, right? And we always try and play upon youth. Like, you're young, don't worry about it. Like, you have forever. You can just blaze through on 3-4 hours of sleep. And that's what people have been telling me for years. And I hate to break it to you all, that's just not the case. I think back to my college career and I'm like, there's certain injuries that I definitely got because I didn't have the best sleep, right? And so just the way that lack of sleep links to injury is just crazy. I'm gonna let y'all look at that study below. And then of course I told you all how last week's video, how a lack of sleep affected me. So this is something that we're gonna set a precedent for everybody for everybody that's in the transcendent family, right? We are going to aim for 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And I know there's going to be some people that comment down below. There's going to be some people that are even saying in their mind right now, 6 to 7 hours, I feel amazing. But the chance that you are actually optimized and at your best potential state from just 6 to 7 hours is so slim, right? And I like to give you all like just this analogy, like you don't know what it feels to feel great until you felt great, right? Feeling good feels great until you feel what feeling great feels like. And then you realize like there is this big chasm in between like where you actually thought felt great and where great actually is. And you're holding your potential back by not getting your sleep, right? We're in a situation where we think we're operating at 100% and we're really operating at 70. And because we've only operated at 70, we think that that is 100%. So you all, I could go on and on about this for days. Cause like I said, we'll have another video where I go back and tell you all like how like a lack of sleep has plagued my life. If you all want to hear about that, let me know down below. A lot of you all are new. So, you know, I want to give y'all stuff that's going to benefit you, not talk about myself too much. We'll get to that in later videos. But if you sat through all the way to the end, listen, I appreciate you. And you got to make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can know when I'm dropping. And I'll be dropping every Wednesday. And make sure you tap that like button. Tap it, all right? And then down below, comment, right? If you're on social media and you're not commenting, you're not engaging, like it's called social media. You're supposed to be social. So it's a family environment down there. Do not go crazy, okay? But make sure you're commenting. It's a family, okay? And if you haven't heard this today, I love you. But most importantly, Jesus loves you. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.